Hey YouTubers, thanks for tuning in. We got another great episode here for you. And I think the theme for this episode should really be goals. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Guys, we're going to see Clinton in a hunt a little bit from now, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about some of his goals for the upcoming season. Todd and I are going to talk about ours as well. So why don't you guys leave your comments below. Let us know what your goals are, what you're going to be working for.
And not how many pounds you're going to lose.
No, these are hunting-related goals for the 2018 season. So as always, guys, we appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you leave your comments below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bowhunt or Die. Justin, I can't believe that we're already, I cannot believe we're going in February 2018 already. We're still talking about late season hunts. Unfortunately, our season is over and a lot of our teammates' season is over. But what's cool is we still got a lot of great hunting action right here for you.
Yeah, we definitely do. Guys, first up, we are going to join Clinton Fawcett on a late season hunt. I believe it was New Year's Day or somewhere right around there here in Illinois. Super cold temperatures, snow on the ground. Food plots means one thing, so let's check that out now.
All right, well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the first hunt of my 2018 season. Today's January the 1st, and it's roughly 3:30 p.m. here, so I'm hunting out the same box blind I've been in the last 3 nights. Still chasing this giant 10-point. I checked cameras today, and he has been here every night. He's just not coming in the daylight, so I don't know. It was negative 15 this morning when I woke up, which is the coldest I've ever experienced in Illinois in my lifetime. And you would think that the deer would move earlier tonight to come to food because they had to burn a lot of energy staying warm. But I really did not want to come back here. I wanted to go to a different farm, but I just feel like if I hadn't seen him by now, he's not coming. Last night I only saw 1 deer total, so I don't know. You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So, I don't know. Pressure's high. It's probably negative 20 wind chill right now. Negative 2 for the temperature. The biggest problem is I had a picture of a big deer last night on a different farm walking in the daylight at 4 o'clock. This is a deer that I passed up late season last year. He was a real nice 10-point. Or 9-pointer, and he's about the same initial, but he's got substantially bigger. He's probably in the mid-60s. But I couldn't decide what to do, so after talking to my wife about it, she said, I don't understand why you would go hunt that smaller deer when your goal's been to kill this one behind the house. Why go up there and shoot that other one just to fill your tag? So that's a good point. It's not like he's going anywhere. And if this big one's going to move in the daylight, maybe tonight's the night with these crazy temperatures. So anyway, that's all I know. He's starting to wear on me, but anybody that's hunted one single deer knows that they'll do that to him. Now there's also a big 8-point back here that I'll shoot if he comes up here. So he's a big 5-year-old, probably 150 incher, and he's definitely worth shooting also. So anyway, I'm gonna get my gloves back on, get my heater turned back on because it just shut off, and to get everything turned around, ready to go. And hopefully you get to see this. Hopefully I can show them to you. So here we go. All right, well, hey guys, I just got back to the house. You know, after I shot at that deer, I originally thought I missed him, and the deer, they just kind of jumped. He took off and started walking after he got in the woods, and the other deer just really kept feeding and then continued to leave. So I didn't do an interview. I just slid out of there real quiet. Figured I'd do it when I got back to the house. But after I watched it, I think I hit him. I didn't think I did. It looks like the shot is back and low for sure. But if we watch it here real slow, right there. So right there, the arrow is obviously in him at that point, which is not a good shot, but there he is. So anyway, I will catch up with you guys on the blood trail tomorrow. All we can do is wait.
A lot of fat. Can't smell much, it's froze, but there's the arrow. Got blood on impact right here, heading into the timber, so we'll, I don't know, see what happens here and take off after it. All right, guys, well, we've been, I don't know, 1,000 yards. These coyotes are running this deer. We're getting up here in this thick stuff. A lot of blood. There he is, Chase. Sorry, buddy. Well, not the way you want to find the biggest deer you've ever shot in your life. You see the coyotes are hungry too. There's not 2 pounds of meat left on him. It's a shame, you know, he bedded 3 times right after the shot. Like I said earlier, initially I didn't think I hit the deer. I thought I'd shot under him, and unfortunately I made a bad shot, but that's nothing I can do about that now. Just hate that it had to end like this for him, but we found him. Just an absolute mega giant. What a beautiful deer. We're going to, we'll get him tagged. Probably, I guess, just cut his head off. No point of taking anything else, and I guess get him out of here. So I'll shoot you a better interview when we get him out of the woods.
All right, well, hey guys, fast forward from that blood trail about to January 18th, because that's what today is. Have you ever had one of those events in your life where it just seems like no matter how hard you work at it, you're just digging yourself more in a hole? That's kind of what it's been with this deer. You know, ever since I went to the blind that night and Frankie called and said he had the flu and couldn't come, it just seems like it's been one trip up, one mistake after another. We went to the ATA show last week and I took Jay-Z and Brandon all my interviews of this deer, and they were bad. The sound was bad. You know, another mistake on my part. So here I am refilming them. Now, I guess this could be a good thing because it's given me time to think about, you know, exactly how I feel about it and what went down and what I want to say. You know, you guys have all saw the footage now. You've seen the hunt. You know, and I made a bad shot. You know, I didn't take a bad shot. I made a bad shot. And to me, that's almost worse for myself because I don't fail very good. And I like to make excuses when things don't go right, when I fail. You know, my whole life I grew up watching all the hunting videos you could find. I watched Mark and Terry Drury until I ruined my tapes. I still got all the DVDs. I watched Monster Bucks. I watched Dan Fitzgerald. I watched everybody. Someday that was going to be me. I was going to be that guy. I was going to be the guy behind the giant deer with the huge smile, all jacked up, because we'd set our goals so high to kill this huge deer, and we'd accomplished it, and that was going to be me. Frank and I, we were going to be those guys. That's what we set out to do. We set out to have fun, add, the filming into our hunting to make it more challenging, and just to share the experience together. And I failed. You can see I didn't get to sit behind any giant deer. The coyotes ate him up. I felt so bad, disrespectful to the animal. Now, I know Mother Nature, she cannot be very nice. Let's just put it that way. And when it's -15 and it's late season, that is what happens when you leave a deer overnight. 9 times out of 10, that's what you're going to end up with. But the fact is, I made a bad shot. Now, I don't want to take anything away from our season. We had an absolute season that a guy like me, I feel like I don't deserve to have. The good Lord blessed us with just so many things this year. We started out in Wyoming. Dustin and I went on turkey hunting in the snow. It was unbelievable. The chances of ever getting to do that again, they're not very good. We came home all summer. Frank and I worked and worked and worked on food plots and tree stands and just getting things dialed in and getting ready because we knew we had a couple giant deer to hunt. Then we were getting ready to go elk hunting. I was getting my body prepared. I was physically prepared to go, got in shape. I met up with Herman. We went out there, and before we elk hunted, we had the greatest trout fishing that a person could ever dream of having. We just caught a ton of trout. Then we got to go elk hunting with Dustin. I got to stand beside him, and he killed a 360-inch bull. It was unreal, unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. We come home, we start running trail cameras, we get on a good buck. Avery shoots him with his crossbow. Just a memory I'll never forget. I got to share with my son a giant deer on top of that. A couple weeks go by, Frank and I get on another deer. We were having a blast in the stand that night. It was raining. It was just so awesome. Deer comes, Frank makes a great shot. Man, that's the way to do it. Now Avery's made a good shot, Frank's made a good shot. We're jacked up, pumped, ready to go. We're rocking and rolling. A couple weeks go by, first day of gun season. Frank's working nights. I'm hunting by myself all the time. He's self-filming, I'm self-filming. We're both getting frustrated with it. I got a deer to come by that we were hunting, made a spectacular shot. So now we've made 2 great shots in a row. We are jacked up. Frank's jacked, he wasn't there. I'm pumped up. Late season comes, and here comes the weather. Everything you've dreamed for. Negative temperatures, snow. It's -15 outside. I'm going to go hunt the buck of my dreams. We know he's back there. Frankie calls me. I've got the flu. I can't go to the blind. I'm scared I'll have to get out while we're there. You're going to have to go by yourself. Well, like I said, it didn't go down the way that I wanted. When you get ready to do things in life that are challenging, you have to be mentally prepared. And that's what I've come to realize. And over the off season here, that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on putting myself in more challenging situations, whether that's working out more physically and then shooting my bow, or finding a way just to mentally stress myself out while I'm trying to shoot. Because I want to be able to put myself in the zone. When you get ready to hunt and you get ready for that situation to arise, I want to be there. As I've gotten older and kids and sports and a lot of stuff at work and everything, your mind just gets running. You're just too busy, right? Everybody in life's too busy. And I've got to find a way to get around that. I've got to find a way to get myself mentally focused for next year. That's my goal. That's my goal. So, I guess to end this, I'd like to thank everybody for following us. I'd like to thank all the people that we hunt with, that own the farms we hunt on, our families, especially Frank and I's family and my wife. I would not have killed this deer if it wasn't for her. I had a different deer I was going to go hunt, but she knew this was my goal. She knew this deer was the goal that I had set for myself this year. And I'd been hunting him a lot, and he'd been nocturnal. And she said, I don't know why you would quit hunting that deer. Why are you going to quit hunting that deer? Just so you can be another guy on social media behind another giant and you tagged out? Is that what you want? You just want to be that guy? Or do you want to try to reach your goals? It's okay to eat tag soup at the end of the year knowing that I hunted that deer every day, even though he was nocturnal and I failed. So anyway, guys, we appreciate you watching. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate the support of the community at home. Everybody's always behind us. And I guess this will be it for us for this year. So We'll see you in the spring, and until then, bow hunt or die.
The outdoors. It seems so plain and simple. But that's exactly what Moose Utility Division is all about. We make no excuses, because no matter what it is, it has to get done. So bring on the seasons, because we enjoy all of them.
You know, Todd, this is one of those hunts where we were really on the fence on whether or not we were even going to use it in the show, right? And one of the things that, you know, we talked about a lot, probably to the point of annoying some people, is just that we try to be as honest as possible with what happens out there in the deer woods. And we've made a commitment to, you know, the viewers of the show and to our team that, you know, if one of our team members does something that we don't agree with, we don't show the hunt, right?
Period.
But there are times when things just go wrong out in the woods. And I don't think Clinton necessarily did anything wrong. He waited until he had a good shot, came to full draw, and unfortunately he just made a bad shot, right? Which has happened to all of us, myself included. And unfortunately, unfortunately for Clinton, as he talked about, late season, you let a deer lay overnight, the chances of the coyotes getting them are super, super high. And I know he feels terrible about it. I mean, he talks about he just shot the biggest deer of his life and he should be elated, right? It should be the happiest moment really in your hunting career for a guy that's worked as hard as he has to get where he's at. And he's not really super excited about it. So we felt it was important to just show the honesty of this hunt and what can happen, you know, out there when you're bow hunting.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, it can deflate you fast. I mean, all the excitement and hype we have going into the season, and you know, you get into it and listen to Clinton. I mean, what an incredible season. I mean, for him to be able to be with Frank, to be able to shoot solo film that other giant buck he got, to be out there with his son, I mean, all that great stuff, and then you have the big buck that you are chasing, and then to have that shot go wrong. Listen, we've all been there before. The most important thing that we want you to take out of this hunt and every other future hunt that you go on, it's about the decision you make when you're getting ready to let that arrow fly, right? I mean, that is the most important decision. Sure. There's the right thing and the wrong thing, and in this case here, Jesus, you couldn't get a deer that wasn't standing any better. I mean, he was standing perfectly still, and you know what? Unfortunately, things go wrong.
Yeah, and I think what's cool to take away from this is, you know, Clinton kind of talks about his commitment going into next year of, you know, trying to learn to shoot under pressure a little bit better. You know, and that's something that Todd and I had some experience with this last week out at the Lancaster Archery Classic. It was our first time on the line shooting in a competitive archery tournament. And Todd and I
Dude, I'm wearing a black shirt this year because, man, I'm glad. I hope no one saw my armpits. I feel bad for that girl that was shooting next to me. Oh, man.
I feel bad for everybody around us. But, I mean, Todd and I aren't competitive target archers. That's our first experience doing something like that. When you take us out of our element, you put us in a room with hundreds of other archers, some of whom are considered the best, thousands of other archers, some of whom are the best archers in the world, and you get up there and they say shoot while everybody's watching and the lights are on. It is stressful. Todd and I definitely felt that pressure. So I know for me and Todd, you know, we've kind of committed ourselves to shooting our bows a lot more.
And Clinton.
And Clinton as well. I mean, we've all committed ourselves to shooting our bows a lot more, getting more technical with our archery. You know, sometimes we focus so much on the hunting and the scouting and the food plots and the stands and everything. You know, and we neglect sometimes the archery side of things because sometimes it's only one shot. And we shoot in our backyards and, you know, at 20 yards and 30 and 40 yards, you know, we're hitting groups like this and we're saying, hey, that's good enough to go shoot an animal. But when that pressure comes and it's cold and you're just in the heat of the moment, like having a little bit of additional, you know, technical expertise to fall back on, I think is going to be a helpful thing for all of us. So it'll be interesting to see how Todd and I progress over the next year.
Yeah, and I don't want to lengthen this any more than we've already gone into this. But I mean, I think when you go to a tournament like that and you actually start to keep score, it completely changes the playing field. You know, I think about the last 5 or 6 years of me just going out in the backyard and you got your 3D targets out there and you're letting arrows fly, right? You know, you're never really keeping score. So many times you're going up and you're like, dead deer, this one's, you know, it's still in the lungs, right? But you're not really keeping score. When you start keeping score and you actually start seeing the difference of where those arrows are hitting, boy, it changes the perspective pretty quickly. So I'm gonna let the cat out of the, I'm gonna let it out right now. I've already made Justin. I mean, I know we've been back a day, but I've already, dude, I'm beating you next year. So I mean, I've already.
Thanks
ordered,
for letting me know you're beating me next year.
I'm all in for you, my man. I've ordered my gear. I've got it ordered. I'm ready to go. So
Mine's actually in my cart at the Lancaster Archery website. I was doing it at lunch today, but I was trying to figure out which arrows I wanted to order. But one thing that I guess we'll wrap this up with before we get into the next hunt is I don't think there's a bow hunter out there that shoots target archery or has gotten into target archery and hasn't said, this has made me a better bow hunter.
I agree.
Right? I mean, that's kind of a universal thing. So I think everybody watching, guys, make sure you check out Lancaster Archery's website. They've got a lot of great tech tips and blogs and products that can definitely help you be a better archer, which hopefully will make you a more successful bow hunter. So let's wrap that up. Go on to the next hunt. We've got Tyler Rector, also down in Illinois, right in Clinton's neck of the woods. Late season food plot again. So let's check that out now.
Well, hey guys, it's December 27th. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon. We're just getting set up in this blind. Basically, we're on about a 2-acre standing corn plot with a little bit knocked down in front of us where the deer have been really hitting it hard. Got some snow, frigid cold temperatures, like 5 degrees above zero. So we're in the blind pretty early. Last night I seen a bunch of deer, but not till really about 4:15. So we're in about an hour early, see what's going on. I got Dustin behind the camera. He came down for a couple days to hang out while he's in the state of Illinois. And so hopefully we can draw some bloodways here. He's technically, the last deer I shot was with him, so a year ago. So hopefully he's my good luck charm. Let's see what happens. It's December 28th, probably about 2:45, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We're just getting set up. We're in the trusty wagon blind. We got a little doe out in front of us, about 45 yards, so she must have probably been out there when we got in the blind, but we're all set up, ready to rock and roll. There's a couple bucks up here that I would shoot, and it's snowing, so maybe something big and new will show up. shot a doe about an hour ago, probably. We know she's dead. We've got to get down a little early tonight. We've got a 4-year-old buck with a doe kind of coming towards us, but my wife has a prior engagement, so we've got to get down, head home, watch the kiddos for a little while, and then we'll come back to get this doe. And who knows, maybe we'll be back here tomorrow. We've seen a lot of deer, so it's been a pretty productive sit, to say the least. So stick with us. We'll be back after dark. Show you this big nanny doe. Oh, hey guys, we just got back here to the food plot. I had to watch the baby for a little while, and Dustin had to meet up with Clinton for supper, so probably about 9 o'clock, and so this deer should be well expired, I think, within about 30 seconds, 3 hours ago. So we're gonna pick up the blood right here, walk through the standing corn, and we're pretty sure we heard a crash in the standing corn, so we're sporting the orange for gun season, but if anybody's gun hunting right now, they're in trouble. So let's go get her. Alright guys, well here's the point of impact. It's about 20 yards from the wagon blind there. She ran through here. My arrow went all the way through her, but it didn't go through her, I guess, but we definitely got two holes here. Oh, actually there's a lemon knock right there. Let's see it going. No, I turned the light off. Look him up here. Can you see it? That stinks. Broke my arrow. Oh, it's frozen too. Luminox still on. Going through a deer. Freaking cold. Keep an eye open because there's got to be a broadhead chunk somewhere. That was the quickest track job I've ever had. Went about 25 yards, maybe 30. Right here. Good old mature doe. Way more than I do. So this is a Heartland Wildlife Buckbuster Brassica plot. As you can tell, they've just been pounding it. They were really hitting it before it got really cold this last couple days. They kind of moved on to the corn, but we got snow Christmas Eve, and they've been in it a lot. So just goes to show you the green stuff is still good. Late season, it's still green. All right, well, we just drug her out of the corn. It's freezing cold. She's actually already getting pretty stiff. We're gonna go ahead and get her cleaned up and get her loaded up in the Toyota and hopefully not get the back seat all bloody because we're in the SUV. But what a great kill. Got a lot of people wanting some deer meat, and it's actually late doe season here in Illinois, so we're sporting the orange, but she's a good one to take. I bet we've seen 30 to 50 does up here almost every hunt, and only a handful of bucks, so I think the deer herd's not hurting to lose 1 or 2 does, and it's for a good cause. So we're gonna get her probably in the back of the Toyota, drive her to the other side of the farm, gut her, and go home and get warm. Bowhunt or die.
Man, I'm starting to really feel like I was a lame late season hunter.
Why? Because you just watched Tyler smoke a doe,
Well,
and man,
and
put a
Clinton,
shot.
I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, I had opportunities, but I was just, I was hell-bent to shoot a buck, and I blew it. I should have probably shot one of those. Watching his, I was like, I should have shot one of those does.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Well, Tyler had a great hunt, as we saw. Made a perfect heart shot on that doe. I mean, a blood trail that we all dream of. Super easy recovery. That is definitely how you want it to go when you picture your late season hunting. Now, I know Tyler was unable to tag a buck here in Illinois for the first time in probably many years.
Me too, Tyler.
Just goes to show you that it can happen to the best of us, but congrats to Tyler on getting a deer down, getting some meat in the freezer. Guys, next up, we're going to check in with PJ Riley over at Lancaster Archery, who's going to give us our tech tip of the week.
A lot of sites on the markets today allow you to adjust the second and third axes. We'll tell you about what those are, but you can imagine if your sight is not level and you're looking at your sight bubble in here, if it's not level, you're going to be canting the bow left and right to what you think is making it level, and it's not. So this bow is already leveled up, and as you can see, my second axis, that's the first one we're going to adjust. That's the scope this way. Your sight will tell you how to do second axis, but you can see how I'm bringing it up. Bubbles in the middle, in the scope, on the sight bar, on the string, so I know my second axis is set. So now we're going to go to the third axis. The third axis will come into play when you're aiming at down or up angles. You can see my bubble is level here, but when I tip it forward, the bubble is going to shift off to one side. That tells me that my third axis is off. So you can imagine if I go to aim down and my bubble is off, I'm going to cant my bow to get that bubble in the middle. Well, if it's not level, then my shot's going to go right. That's a problem. This is a string level here. This one's no good for this test. We need to use the one here mounted on the sight bar. So I'm just going to tilt the bow forward like I'm shooting at a downward angle. Make sure this is in the middle and see what my sight bubble does. Sight bubble is in the middle on my sight bar, and you can see in here it's all the way over to the right. I go to my third axis adjustment, swing the scope until the bubble comes back to the middle. Okay, now you can see sight's level here, the bubble's in the middle, bubble's in the middle here on my scope as well. So my second and third axis are both adjusted, so you know that no matter how you're shooting now, you can trust your bubble. Back to you guys.
Hey PJ, thanks. That was a great tip. Looking forward to next week's tip as well. Guys, next up we've got trophy photos, one of our favorite segments for the week. So let's take a look at some of the photos that the folks sent in for this week's episode.
Ben Defoe,
Drew Perkins,
Eric Peterson,
Justin Argentine,
Carissa West,
and Hunter Baker.
Hey guys, those are some great trophies. We still got a few episodes left, so make sure if you want to be right here on an episode of Bowhunter Die, make sure you send us your photo. Justin, as far as this week's winner, you know, we had a lot of banter back and forth and who was going to win. Ben, you know, it's a great looking trophy doe. If you would have just told your video guy or whatever, your camera guy to get down lower, we may have had
one
that
of the
trophy
keys
doe
when
win.
you're doing trophy photos. The camera person has to be almost level with the photo. None of this stuff where you're way up high shooting down. Ben had a great trophy doe, just needed a little bit better image, so we ended up going with Eric Peterson for this week's winner. Congratulations to Eric on a fine deer and a nice photo. Eric, make sure you email us info@bowhunting.com. We will get you a Bowhunter Die hat headed your way. Todd, that's it for this week's episode. We got one more to go, correct? And then a live stream. We decided to add an extra kind of bonus episode. We were originally planning on this being the last episode, but Paul Morrison went out after the ATA show and smoked himself a nice buck down in Kentucky, so we got a little extra bonus footage for you guys for next week's show. So make sure you tune in. We got one more great episode of Bowhunter Die. We'll see you then.
For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and receive live updates from our team members as well as the latest happenings in the bowhunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and Bowhunter Die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more. You're the leader of the pack. I am the old coyote who's just slinking back to the parties. I wait for you guys to kill the meat, and then I just come in for a little bite.
Todd is the old coyote.
I come in after you guys get all the dirty work done.
El coyote.
But you get the fun of the hunt and bragging rights with all the other girl coyotes.
That's what I was hoping to get.